Hopefully that's better. Okay, great. Oh. I clicked the screen, I didn't mean to, but, hey. May as well get started. Alright. Employee ID. Let's see. I actually recently started putting blue dye in my hair, so I'm gonna go with the blue-haired person. Yep, it does indeed. Thank you. Do I get to... Was I supposed to enter a name that I didn't get to do? Yeah, I get. Yep. Maybe it's just always employee one. Doesn't matter. Okay. Blue here, Mang. Hey, Pseudo, how's it going? Yeah, not green ponytail girl. Maybe later. 16,000 nickels. Jeez. Alright, so let's get started. This game is a puzzle game. It is basically a visual programming simulator in the style of a puzzle game. The idea is you are starting basically at the ground floor, figuratively and literally, in this corporation, in the Tomorrow Corporation. And then each new puzzle you complete is moving up a floor and up a position in the company. So we are starting down here in the mailroom. Welcome to your first day. You look like an excellent instruction follower. First job will appear on the right side. Okay. So, how do I navigate around in this? Okay. So, drag commands into this area to build our program. Tell your worker to grab each thing from the inbox, drop it into the outbox. So, basically, this just as a basic intro to the game. We are grabbing from the inbox, we are putting into the outbox, because that's the only task of this. Not enough stuff in the... Oh, did I misread? Read? Oh, I did misread. I should have been paying more attention. Alright, should tell your worker to grab each thing from the inbox and drop it into the outbox. Okay. So... Okay, so it literally wants, like, inbox, outbox? Is that what we're going for? Oh no, we're just throwing it all out. Okay. Program should tell your worker to grab each thing. Oh, because literally, okay. I'm just being dumb. I need to pay more attention here. We just need... I'm trying to logic it more. I'm almost assuming it's going to go back to 1 when it's done, but that's actually not a step we get till later. So I've seen this game before. This game came out in 2015. I watched a bit of a playthrough of it then, but not in a way that I remember all the answers now, so nothing should be spoiled for me. Also, it's not exactly, it's the kind of thing that's easy to spoil. Like, you need to you wouldn't necessarily remember all the logic on the more complicated levels. Okay, so that's year 1 in the mailroom. Now we get promoted to the busy mailroom. Bright future in inbox, outbox management. That's just life. Alright, grab each thing from the inbox, drop each one into the outbox, and we've got a new command. Okay, so this is essentially what I was looking for, because now we get the jump command, so I can then go drop a jump in here and jump back to the beginning. So I basically just mentally skipped a step. I assumed, I kind of expected the program to just do this, but now we have the jump command, so we can go through bits of logic and then we can repeat them. So this should be exactly what we want, and I can, wait, what did I do? No, just keep going. We can up the speed of this. Alright. We have completed the busy mailroom. Alright, we've been promoted to the copy floor. Yeah, Wrench, exactly. It's sort of definitely the art style this is going for. They all kind of look ground down, and like this whole promotion business is essentially the Peter principle as an example. Inbox conveyor system is completely broken. Okay, ignore the inbox for now, and just send the following 3 letters to the outbox bug. Alright, so yeah, so we get this copy from command now, so essentially we're going to copy from 4, put that into the outbox, then we're going to copy from 0, put that into the outbox, and copy from 3, put that into the outbox, and that should be how we do this one. Yay! Alright. We've now been promoted to Scrambler Handler. Conveyor system is fixed. Alright. Sent Gub in. You're reading it the wrong way, Pseudo. The order enters the bottom right. Grab the first 2 things from the inbox, drop them into the outbox in the reverse order. Repeat until the inbox is empty. And now we have copy 2. So essentially we are going to grab from the inbox, we're going to copy to 0. Then we're going to grab again from the inbox, copy to 1. And then we want to copy from 0. And then outbox it, and then copy from 1 and outbox that, and then we are going to jump back to the beginning. I think that looks correct. Alright. Yeah, let's just see. I'm doing this a little quickly, and if we end up... This is probably... whoops. Yeah, no, I forgot. I messed it up because I have to do it in the reverse order. So basically, we need to copy from 1 and then copy from 0. Let's play that again. The other day, one of the people you were hosting was playing... Oh, you know what? This is actually, I'm going to stop. This will be right, but it won't be the most efficient number of steps, because after we've grabbed from the inbox, we don't have to do this copy to or copy from. We can just outbox what we're holding, and then we copy from 0 and outbox that. That's going to be more efficient, so I'm going to redo this. Yeah, because there's absolutely no need to copy to 1, because we're just, yep, this will do it. Okay. So the other day, one of the people you were hosting was playing Hollow Knight. I haven't played Hollow Knight yet, but Hollow Knight is a beautiful looking game, and definitely a game I would play in the future, so definitely interested in it. Alright, so in this game, just like in any programming, essentially, like... There's a way to do things, there's more efficient ways to do things. It's not showing us now, but I think later on in the game it'll also show us if we haven't done it in the most efficient number of steps, or you'll get a bonus for doing it in the least amount of steps. So like what I originally had there would have worked, but not the most efficiently, which is why I stopped it and changed it. Been playing it for the past month. Yeah, no, I believe it. Like, it looks really great. It's a really beautiful game. Alright, coffee time. We've earned a coffee break. Year 5 is coffee time. Yeah, $15 is pretty cheap for that.
Back to work, everyone.
Yeah, this is work life. Anyway, we're gonna start getting a bit of story here.
The city continue to experience power failure. Local authorities are investigating.
Yep, it's just little bits here and there. This is sort of, I put this down as a dystopian game, and it sort of becomes dystopian. The sequel to this game, I think, is actually probably more dystopian, but anywho, this game is more like current, like this is how corporations currently work. This is how it feels like it. After 5 years, you get 1 cup of coffee. Yep, exactly. Alright, we've gotten promoted to rainy summer. Oh, it's just raining outside. Come to my personal rain cloud. Yep, that's fair. Alrighty. Alright, for each 2 things in the inbox, add them together and put the result in the outbox. Okay, so now we can add. So we're going to want to inbox. Okay, so it adds the content of a tile on the floor to whatever value you're currently holding. So we're going to pull from the inbox. We're going to copy to 0. Then we're going to pull from the inbox again, and then we are going to add what's in 0, and then we are going to outbox that. And then we want to jump back. I think this will do what we want. Let's see. Yep, 6, 8, add that. We should get a 14. Then we outbox that. Yeah. This will do it. Let's up the speed a bit. Woo! Alright, another promotion. Alright, so now we get a bit of branching, like we can follow like sort of the main thing up to the top, but I'm gonna do the branching. From what I remember, I think the branching are just like extra challenging, but that'll be fun, so we're gonna do that. Hey, you're new looking. This optional area is for high-performing employees only. Is that you? We'll see. I'm late. Okay. I guess I'm not high-performing. 100% performance increase. Well, from 0 employees to 1 is an infinite percentage increase. Okay. So I think the extra scrutiny they're mentioning, I think this is where we're going to be like, is it the most efficient number of steps? Self-improvement tip. Where are we going with this? Please leave the high-level decisions to management. Yep, this is all very accurate. Alright, so for each thing in the outbox, triple it, and outbox the result. Okay, so to start, inbox. We are going to copy that to 0. I think once we copy that, we still have it in our hand. So if we just do an add twice and then outbox it, and then jump back. Whoops. Jump back. So inbox, copy to 0, add, and outbox that. And then jump. I think that'll do what we're looking for. Add. Excellent. Alright. Okay, yeah, here's where we get the challenge now. Yeah, 6 or fewer commands, 24 or fewer steps. Excellent. Alright. The Octoplier suite. Two green lights next to each button in the elevator. If this guy does have a spouse or significant other, they're definitely either very patient or soulless as well. They live in the office on the nth floor. Yeah, your family just comes with you. Like, you don't leave these floors. This is the You guys are gonna have to remind me what it's called, but this is that this is that thing in Hunter x Hunter where you go up the floors and you basically just live there until you decide to leave. But I forget what that tower is called. Heaven's Arena. That's it. Thanks, Rich. For each thing in the inbox, multiply it by 8 and put the result in the outbox. Yeah, so here we're not going to want to use a bunch of add commands. It's easy but wasteful. Can you do it using only 3 add commands? I'm sure we can. So first thing we always need to do is inbox and copy it, but then we don't want to add it a bunch. Is it just saying using only 3 add commands? Is it just saying to use a jump? Are you having issues with it, Pseudo? Okay. So I'm just trying these things here. I don't think this is what it wants because it's saying, this would technically be, and there's no, we also have no breakpoint here. So if we do this jump, it's just going to keep jumping forever because we haven't gotten any sort of conditions yet, which is the problem. We can't break out of a loop at this point. So we're gonna wanna, I think we're gonna wanna add and then copy 2. Oops, that's not actually what I wanted. Copy 2, add. So at this point, we'll have doubled it. If we then copy that doubling... Oh, yes. Okay. I see, of course. Okay. So, yes, this is exactly what we need. Okay. So if we do this, we're only using 3 add commands, but every time we're copying it to the new thing, we're adding it. I don't actually need to copy it to new things, but I'm just going to see it visually. So yeah, every time we do it, we're going to double it. So then if we copy and add, we're going to double it again. So we're essentially, with these 3 add commands, we're essentially going to go, we're going to multiply it by 2 cubed, essentially. So we're going to octuply it. And then we're going to, I can't forget my outbox here. Then we're going to outbox it and jump. This should be what we want. Yeah. Yep. This is what we want. Or fewer. Excellent. 36 or fewer steps. All right. Good question, Pseudo. I forgot to mention that. So, for the most part, I want to figure this out myself. But I also, I don't want you guys to necessarily have to be silent. I guess what I don't want is people Googling the response and telling it to me. So, I sort of don't want let's say this. No backseating, I guess, unless I ask for it, I guess. If I'm trying to sort of work something out and I need some help, I'll specifically ask chat. No, that's fine. It's fine what you said, Pseudo. It's just a difficult line to draw with chat because certain people in my chat I know are gonna be good about it, but so someone new coming in might be like, oh, someone said something, I can give the answer. It's hard to be here's the cutoff. You can say some things but not other things. So I guess I'll just say no backseating unless I ask for it. But okay. Now a tetracontiplier. What a wonderful feeling. Alright, for each thing in the inbox, multiply it by 40 and put the result in the outbox. Okay. So, interesting. Okay. Inbox, copy to 0. Do basic arithmetic. Yep. So I think we're going to need to sort of do some interesting things here. So we're going to copy 2. If we copy 2 and add, we've doubled it. If we then copy to 1 and add 1, we've quadrupled it. If we then we do it again, we octuple it exactly like the last one, but then we're gonna need to come back around, because we can't, just like octuple it and then it's times 16 and then 32. Then we're gonna need to come back to 8 actually. So this is probably not going to be the most efficient as a start, but I'm going to essentially do what I just said and see where we get. So at this point, we'll have octupled it. If we copy to 3, add there, we've multiplied it by 16, and if we then do one more where we copy to 4 and add it, now we've multiplied it by 32. We need to get to 40. So we then need to go back to 2, where we multiplied it by 8. So if we then add 2 and then outbox it and then jump, then we've multiplied it by 40, I think. I think I'm correct in saying that. I'm not sure that this is the most efficient, but let's see what we get here. All right, so we're gonna want to end up with 120 here. No, that's not right. Okay. So I missed something here. So, okay, 3 times 16 we've got there. Oh, I completely miscounted what I was going for there. We would need 2 add 4s, which would get us to multiplying it by 32. And then we add, because there we don't, then we add 2. Does this do it for us? What did I do? Oh, because I didn't copy it to 4. I see. Okay. So after adding 4, we need to copy it to 4. Let's try that again. Oh, now we're way too high. Never mind. Okay. Let's get that out of here. Okay, let me go back through this logic. Yeah, copy to 4, add 4. So let's step through this. Okay, we've doubled it. We've quadrupled it. We've octuplied it. We have multiplied it by 16. And there we've multiplied it by 32. right? So that's times 32. So if we were to then add, I guess it's adding the third one then. So we've double 16. It's because okay. So then we want to add. Then we want to add 3, and then outbox it. Oh wait. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Was that the most efficient? Okay. Command-wise it was. And speed-wise. Okay. Cool. I had thought that was almost definitely not going to be the most efficient. Okay. So it wasn't showing me before, but in the busy mailroom, I did not do most efficient. So I'm going to come back here and do that. Grab each thing from the inbox, drop each one into the outbox. In what way was this not the most efficient? Fewer commands. 30 steps. I'm not sure that I needed to. I don't think I needed to add to copy to all those spaces pseudo. I just wanted to sort of see more visually because it doesn't technically it doesn't add a step, or in this case it didn't add a step to copy it because I would have had to have copied it back to the thing, but if I didn't copy it I would have just been adding more ads in there, but it's just nice visually. Wasn't the most efficient because you didn't sexually gratify your boss after. Thankfully, I don't think this game goes there. But I don't know. So you can complete this assignment using only 3 total commands. What am I missing that is taking 5 more steps than it wants me to take? You might be right, though, Pseudo. If I'm thinking about it correctly, I'd have to sort of go back to it and kind of step through it again. But trust me, we will have a lot of opportunity to ponder on the efficiency of assembly language in this game, especially when we get to the higher floors where it's very complex. But I don't get what I'm missing here in this one that I'm not doing it the most efficient way possible. You pick up from the inbox, you drop in the outbox, and then you jump. That's... Unless it literally wants inbox, outbox, and then not a jump, because then there's one last command. Is that what it wants of me? That's dumb. It seems dumb. I don't even know how many of these there are. It wanted it in 25 commands though. So what am I missing in the... Okay, I'll question for chat. Does anyone see why this is not the most efficient it could be? I'm missing something, I guess. Yeah, I don't quite get why. Yeah, it seems like it to me too. Like it's definitely it's definitely the most efficient number of commands. Then it's saying the steps. And also, is it giving? It's giving me a different set of letters here. Is it just like this is not the most efficient because we gave you more letters? What's it saying now? Initialize. Gave me less letters than boot sequence there. 30 steps on average. Your best completed in 30 steps on average. Yeah, these challenges can be very difficult and in many cases not possible to optimize both simultaneously with one solution. Okay, I do sort of remember that from this game, that the least number of commands is not necessarily the same as the least number of steps. So like if it might literally want dragging all these in, you know. So it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 sets of these is going to be 20 steps worth. Oops. Like this is going to be dumb, but let's see if this is what they want for the least number of steps. I think that's the right number. Let's just see. Yeah, I understand that, but why? What do you want from me? I understand that this would not work always, but you want less steps out of me. So he wants my soul, yeah. Can I just give you my soul? Hello again. Optimization challenges. Most minutes execute before it finishes on average. Fewer is better. Average computed by testing your solution against many deterministically generated input sets. Mm-hmm. I have that understanding. I don't know. I don't want to go through your whole spiel again. Tell me more. Okay. I get that. Uh-huh. Okay. I am unclear what they want out of me on this one, so maybe I'll come back to it later. You're supposed to avoid duplicate letters or something. Yeah, I don't think so, because like it hasn't given me a place to like copy any duplicate letters. Can I just straight up? I can straight up clear this, can't I? Yep. You have another idea, Pseudo? You do get access to more commands later that help wrench, but not in this particular level. Like, I do have access to more commands, but I think anytime I come back to this level, I'm still going to just have these 3 commands at this point. I think. I might be wrong about that. What if your input is 1 item or less? Ah, interesting. Yeah, if your input were one item and you jumped back, there would be nothing to pull from the inbox. If it was 0, there would be nothing. I'm not sure how we would do anything about that. Like, I mean, this would catch one item, but then it would still try to go into this loop. Just unsure how we'd get around that. I know there are commands later to check for, I think, 0 and whatnot. Like this will work. And this. But I don't think it's going to give us a different result. Size challenge will be low, yes, we know that. 29, how'd that average? That averaged 29 now? I guess against the strings it threw at me to test. Outbox. It's the only thing I can imagine, unless you're like jumping to a different point in it, but you still need to. You're just gonna still need to grab from the inbox. Anyway, I'll come back to this one. Let's say. Let's go for 0 exterminator. Yeah, that was basically your idea, Pseudo. Okay, yeah, I don't know. We'll maybe come back to it later. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? 5 floors up? 10 floors up? Yep. What a treat. Excellent. Okay, send all things that are not 0 to the outbox. You got a new command. It jumps only if the value you're holding is 0. Otherwise, it continues to the next line. Okay, so this will be pretty simple. So inbox, we're going to want to jump if 0 to inboxing, and then jump back. So we're going to inbox. If it's 0, we're going to skip the outbox, and we're going to inbox. Wait, actually, that inbox isn't necessary. If 0, we're just going to skip the outbox and jump back. Okay. This should be the most empty value. You can't jump if 0 with empty hands. Oh, whoops! I did this backwards. My bad. Yep, of course. Zero, throw it out. 0, throw it out. 9 into the outbox, and throw out the 0. Excellent. 27. Alright. Let's go back in there and play with that. Okay. So we don't need to do this. If we do the inbox and it's 0, we could just jump back to the top. We don't need to jump to this other jump. I think that will save us some steps, because otherwise we're doing 2 jumps to where only 1 is necessary. Let's speed this up. There we go. Alright. Zero Preservation Initiative. The Zero Advocacy community felt the previous assignment was not inclusive. Now we're sending only zeros. And that's exactly how we're gonna appease the Zero community. Management leaves that detail up to you. Alright, I'm gonna throw them out like I did before. So, I mean, this is gonna be essentially the same thing we did before. We're going to, except this jump is going to do any sort of jump. So if zero, we're going to want to jump down and outbox. And then within the zero, we're going to have a jump back. So if zero, it's going to jump to the outbox. Otherwise, it's going to hit this jump and go back to the inbox. This should be correct. None of this. Oh, I didn't add my final jump, of course. Yep. Okay. Level up your zero. The face in your dreams of glass. I assume this is from some song. Alright, so I can do this more efficiently. So I assume I did a very similar thing to what I did before, where I have an extra unnecessary jump. So after outboxing the zero, I definitely need to jump back. Alright, so we inbox. If zero, we wanna jump this jump and outbox it. If it's not zero, we wanna go back to the inbox. So we jump if zero, we outbox, and then we jump back to the beginning. But there seems to be something here that could be more efficient. Smashing Pumpkins song called Zero. So I'm of course familiar with the Smashing Pumpkins. I couldn't really tell you any of their songs because I'm not a big music person, and also I pay not a ton of attention. But the only thing I can think when I think of the Smashing Pumpkins is that episode of The Simpsons where Homer is basically the guy that gets shot with cannonballs, so he ends up getting to go to like festivals and essentially where musicians are. And he meets the guy from the Smashing Pumpkins, and the guy said, I don't remember his name, he said like, Dave, Smashing Pumpkins, Homer Simpson, smiling politely. Homer Palooza, that's right. I always love that line. Okay. Alright, back to this. So, if it's a zero, we're going to jump to the outbox. Yes. And then we need to jump back. If it's not zero, we need to like get around it. So like if it's not zero, we just jump back. I think that's exactly what we want to do. But where am I losing efficiency here? So I was 3 steps too much, I think it said, which doesn't super matter. I'm just wondering where that could be. So if zero, we want to outbox it, and we can't like we don't have a jump if greater than, or jump if not zero. So this jump is gonna catch anything, so we need the jump of zero to jump over that jump and then outbox the zero. and then after we've outboxed to 0, we need to jump back up to the beginning. Which, I mean, we could jump to here. I don't think that doesn't change anything, though. We're jumping to the same place. These aren't steps. So if it's not 0, we don't end up doing this first jump, and then we jump back to inboxing, which is what we want to do, right? And if I were to, like, do this and jump to the jump, that's an extra jump that we don't want, because then we're going to jump and then jump again immediately. So I would think this is the most efficient option. But again, I'm forgetting the thing where it says, you know, least number of steps and most efficient is not necessarily the same thing in this game. So if I were to, if 0, outbox, otherwise copy 2, well, that's just adding an extra thing in. Like, I need all these jumps, I feel like. Alright, any thoughts on efficiency in the chat? Let's see. Yeah, same. I'm not quite sure here. Alright, you know what? That's fine. Let's move on to the next one, maybe come back to it later. I don't necessarily want to grind my wheels forever on certain things. Depends how quickly we do this game, though. I might come back to it. Subtraction? I never learned that in school. Oh man, I'm glad you're a boss in the Tomorrow Corporation. So I wonder if you can eliminate an extra jump, because the last one had only 2 jumps, but it was pretty close to as efficient as it could be. Yeah, the last one had only 2 jumps, and I think it's because I think we could have only 2 jumps. That's essentially what I was thinking. But I think we had only 2 jumps in the other one because if it was 0, we wanted to ignore it. So if 0, we were jumping back to the beginning. But we don't have a jump if not 0. We have a jump which would jump everything, and we have a jump if 0. So I think we need an extra jump in that one. I sort of want to go back now and think about that. So, yeah. So, like, in the previous one, it was basically, you know, if 0, we wanted to jump back. Like, I think this was the exact solution to the other one, because we didn't want to outbox the zeros. So, if it was 0, we just jumped back and went back to the inbox and then outboxed. We can't exactly do the same here, because if we swapped that logic and then had, like, this jump will jump everything, including the zeros. So we need to jump if 0 to avoid that jump. And then, but we still, when we do this outbox it for the zeros, we still need to get back. So we need that extra jump. So I feel like the jumps we had are all necessary, but I don't know. I might be wrong. outbox. So we grab from the inbox, we jump if 0, we outbox it. If it's not 0, we hit this jump, which takes us back to the inbox. Once we outbox, we need to get back somehow. So yeah, I guess is there a clever way to use this same jump? Jump of 0 to the outbox. We need to catch. We need to catch anything that isn't, because this this is not going to jump us otherwise. Yeah. Anyway. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean to back out of it. Okay. Let's go to the sub hallway. Do some subtraction. Yes. Yes, I did. Alright. For each 2 things in the inbox, first subtract the first from the second and put the result in the outbox, and then subtract the second from the first and put the result in the outbox, and repeat. You've got a new command, subtracts the contents of a tile on the floor from whatever value you are currently holding. So, first we're going to need an inbox. We're going to copy that to 0. Then we are going to inbox again. We want to subtract the second from the first. What you're holding, though, subtracts the content of the tile from whatever you're holding. So we want to subtract the second from the first. So we want to be holding the first and then sub the second. So we're going to need to copy the second one to 1. Then we're going to want to copy from 0. And then we're going to want to sub 1. And then we're going to want to outbox that. And then we're going to want to jump. Let's see, is this correct? So we're copying the first one to 0. And we're copying the second one to 1. Then we're copying from 0. We're subtracting the second from the first. Now we're outboxing, then we're jumping. I think this is what we want. Bad outbox. Oh, wait, did I read that wrong? Subtract the... Oh, duh. Yeah, I did read that wrong. It's first subtract the first from the second, and then subtract the second from the first. Oops. Yeah. So basically what I did here is backwards. So, yeah, we can copy that to 0, then we inbox. We're going to want to still copy that to 1, but then we want to sub 0. And then outbox that. And then we want to do this logic where we copy from 0, and then we sub 1, and then we outbox that, and then we jump. I might have done this wrong, but I'm going to play it and see what it does. Okay. Alright, we got that sub, and then we're going to copy that, we're going to get that sub, and then we're going to move on through it. Let's speed this up. Alright, let's see if that was efficient. Alright. Hey, excellent. Got it in 1. Alright. Why haven't you given me my lights? Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. We just did sub hallway. Alright, now we're in the equalization. Yeah, exactly. Soullessness complete. You've completed a soulless year. We're moving you up to the next floor for another soulless year. Sometimes, some numbers are bigger than other numbers. And sometimes, they are the same. How can we know? We've brought in top scientists. Which number are you for the aspirational 0? I love that title. I would love to borrow it. Hey, we get comments now. Oh, oops, I accidentally deleted the D. Alright, well. I wanted to reset it to get Hello World back because I don't want to draw stuff. R&D is here, yeah. Yep, no, that's you now, Wrench. This is where the programmers need to go to the scientists. You tell us what numbers. Oh, it's still got Hello World there. Whatever. Yep, you got comments. You could use them if you like to mark sections of your program. I'm probably not going to do that a whole lot, but maybe. Oh wait, I just want to get rid of it. Okay. Get 2 things from the inbox. If they are equal, put one of them in the outbox. Discard non-equal pairs. Repeat. Okay. Whirl. Hell whirl. Inbox. Okay. We're going to copy that to 0. Then we are going to inbox, and then we're going to want to sub 0. If the result of that is 0, then they were equal, and we want to copy from 0 and outbox it. And then we're going to want to jump back. And then if it's not 0, we just go back and try it again. All right, this seems correct to me. Let's see. All right, subtracting. It is not 0, so we're throwing it out. Now we got a 1. We got another 1. We're subtracting. It is 0, so we're grabbing that one, outboxing it. Okay. This seems to me like it's correct. All right. Subtract -9 from 9. Excellent. We got a 0. Outbox that. All right. Let's see how this shakes out for efficiency. All right. Oh man, one extra step. Let's see if that's something we can work out right quick. Okay. Alright, so we need to inbox, we need to copy it, we need to inbox again, and sub, because we need to compare. If it's 0, we're then going to do a copy from it, outbox it, and then we're going to jump back. I feel like this is the same thing I'm missing from the last one. Like, it's the same logic, and I feel like I might be missing something about the functionality. Like, yeah, jump of 0, we want to jump down there. If not 0, we're going to end up in this bit, and we just need to repeat. I think that's... I don't necessarily see where we're losing out on functionality, or on efficiency. Let's see. Inbox, copy, inbox, sub. That'll tell us whether or not we're 0. If we're 0, we want to grab a copy of that number, of one of the numbers, which is why we have that copied to 0. And then we want to outbox that. And then once we've gotten there, we need to jump back. So this jump is necessary. I guess this is where, like, I'm uncertain. Like, maybe I don't need those jumps. I feel like I do, because it's going to do the jump of 0. And if not, it's going to go into it, but there's nothing in it, so it's essentially just going to throw that out. Because we're not doing anything with the jump, we're not catching anything that doesn't have to jump. I don't know, is there some... still need at the end of this, we need some way to jump, and it's not like we can like jump back to here and do this jump, because then we're just adding like that'll work, but we're adding extra steps. So like, that's not faster, unless it is somehow, and I'm just not understanding. Yeah, no, it's not faster. Alright, anyway. Another one to maybe come back to. Maximization room. There's been a change of plans. Treating all numbers equally is no longer profitable. Excellent. Big numbers only. Yep, that's fair. Copy to, copy from are the same cost as add. Yeah. I think I see what you're saying, Pseudo. Let me go back so I can sort of visualize that. So, if we didn't want to copy from and instead wanted to add back, yeah, because we sub if we've gotten 0. Hold on. Get back to my original. Okay. So what I think you're saying is if we added back 0 instead of copy, yeah, that gives us, yeah, it's just replacing one step for another. Sub 0, we've gotten 0. We just add it back and outbox it. I bet that will do the same thing that we want, because we've gotten 0. Now let's add that back and outbox it. But yeah, I think, like it's, yeah, assuming that's what you're saying, and yeah, I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be the same. Yeah, it's gonna be the same optimization cost. Like, yeah, worth a shot at the very least. Not a bad idea. Yeah, no, it's definitely a good thought. 'Cause that's another way we can certainly do it. Yeah, we want the big numbers. Multiply them all by infinity. That would do it. Okay, grab 2 things from the inbox. Put only the bigger of the 2 in the outbox. If they're equal, just pick either one. Okay. So, hey, we have a jump if negative now. That's going to be helpful. Okay. So, we're going to inbox copy 2. And then we're going to inbox again. And we're going to subtract 0. I'm going to need to maintain both numbers, so I'm going to have to copy to 1 there. Hey, Brennomania. Yep, no, this is how Amazon works as far as I understand. Okay, so inbox copy to 0, inbox copy to 1. So now we've stored both of them. Then we're going to sub 0. If it's negative, let's just go to that. If it's negative, then we're going to want to copy from 0 because it is the larger number. And then we're going to outbox that. Let's say that's if it's negative. If it's negative and if it's 0, we're going to want to do the same thing. Negative or 0, we just copy one of them, and copy from 0 is fine, and then we outbox that, and then we, of course, jump our way back. Now, in the case that it is... well, hold on, we can't do this, because that's going to be if it's 0 and if it's negative. Well, no. Jump if 0 is going to jump down there. If it's not 0, it's then going to check if it's negative and jump. if we've gotten in here, it's not 0 or negative, so we're actually going to jump to a different tree of logic. This doesn't look very efficient, but I'm just going to play around with it first. Yeah, if it's not 0, not negative, then the current one we have is what is the larger one. So then we're going to copy from 1, and we're gonna outbox it. Okay. So we're still gonna need like a dumb jump here. That's gonna go back. This is terribly inefficient. It seems terribly inefficient, but I'm gonna see if it works. So 8, 2 we've copied. Strength, it's negative, so our first one was the biggest. Okay, that is correct. Copy in the negative 4. Copy in the negative 6. That one was biggest. Okay, now we have a case where they're the same. 0, so just grab one of them, put it out there. 6 in the negative 2. Yep, 6 is biggest, so we output it. Okay, and that's correct. But I feel like there's a lot of inefficiency. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's redo this one. It could definitely be much nicer. I am actually I'm going to clear this. Wait, actually, no, let's not clear it, because I forgot I can just, there are different tabs here, so like, I can keep this program here, and I can go to a new tab and write a different one, and I can always reference back to the first one. Okay, inbox, always going to have to do that. Copy it to 0. And then we're always going to grab the next one, and we do need to copy it, because we need both of them stored, because one of them is going to be larger, and if we hold something and do an add or sub command, it's going to change what we're holding. So we always need to copy these things somewhere. So this I think needs to stay as is. Now what we are going to do is we have a few cases. If it's negative, then we've copied it, we're holding the second number, we're going to subtract it from the first number. If our result is negative, then the first number was the biggest, so we're going to end up copying from 0 to get that number back and then outboxing it. If it's 0, they're both the same, so we just copy anything, either of the two, and then we go back, we outbox that, and yeah, that's the end of that step. If it is positive, which is basically the jump for anything else, then the second one is the biggest, and we're going to copy back from there. So, okay, here's the thought. Okay, so we've subtracted here. If it's 0, okay. Okay. I think I see where I can save some logic. So if it is 0, we are going to copy from, let's say we're copying from 0 for now, and we're going to outbox that. This is the correct logic for if it's 0. And for this one, we can copy from 0 or 1, because they're both the same. If it's not 0, we're going to end up in this tree of logic. If it's negative, then the first number is the correct one. So we are going to copy from actually, no, this is not what I thought. If it's negative, yeah. So actually, if it's negative, we can just do this same logic again, right? Okay, Wrench. Thanks for being here. Good talking to you. See you guys later for, Hunter x Hunter. Always excited for it. Especially since I have the day off tomorrow, so let's just watch it till like 2 a.m., alright? Everyone good with that? Okay. Anywho. See you guys a bit later. Tell Taylor I said hi. Yeah, exactly. It's only 11 for you. You're fine. And we can just force Pseudo to be up 5 hours past his bedtime. Anyway. But I know Pseudo took the day off tomorrow too, so he'll be fine. Anywho. Okay. So if 0 or if negative, I can copy from 1. I can use that same logic. And then if anything else, I could jump to the final scenario, which is that the second number was bigger, and then we outbox that, and then we jump all the way back here. But we also need to, when we've outboxed here, we need to jump back as well. Is this identical to what I did before? I feel like I saved a step. Did I not at all? Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I had this I had this exact same idea before. This is exactly what I did. Oh wait, hold on. Jump if 0, if negative. Yep, for those I was doing the same thing. And then I had a jump back. And then I had a jump that went from, yeah, no, this is identical. It's ostensibly identical. Okay. Let's clear this tab since it's the same. Okay. Let's try this again. Inbox. Copy to 0. Inbox. Copy to 1. Again, I don't think we can get around that. I think that has to happen. That's fine, Pseudo. I mean, it's actually... No, it's a good question. I think you might have a point there. Why do we need 2 outboxes? I don't know, maybe we do. Okay, so we... no, so we can... I think we can throw out an outbox, and we could jump to this outbox. Yeah, then we could throw out that jump, replace it with this jump to outbox. I think that took 1 command out of the list, didn't it? Because now we only have 1 outbox. We have the same amount of jumps, but we're jumping and we're using this same jump to jump back to the beginning. So here, if 0, if negative, we're jumping to this copy from 0, and then jumping to the outbox, and then jumping back to the beginning. Otherwise, we're taking this jump here, copying from 1, and then we are outboxing and jumping. Actually, I think that does save us. I think that saves us from some steps. I think you're right, Pseudo. Just make sure this all works as intended. I think we've definitely saved at least 1 command. But thinking back, I don't remember how much we were out by. Yeah, we saved 1 command because we had 14 before. But we're still very inefficient. Oh jeez, okay. I don't want to move on from this one until I've completed at least 1 bit of efficiency. one of the challenges. Okay. Alright. Inbox copy, inbox copy. Again, I am still convinced those are 100% necessary. Because if we did, the first inbox and we copied it and then did the second inbox and went straight to a sub, that would be fine if our number was, that'd be fine if the result was negative, because then we could copy back from here. If the result was positive, then we would need to get the second number, but we've essentially at that point we've eliminated the second number because when you do the sub command for something you're holding in your hand, it changes what you're holding in your hand. But I wonder, actually, now that I think about it, let's see if this goes anywhere. So, inbox copy, if we've subtracted and we've ended up with a positive result, then we want that number back. So we can just add it back, actually. Yeah, okay. Okay, so if 0, if negative, we're going to copy back from 0, because that's fine. Otherwise, we, instead of this copy, we can just add 0 back. That doesn't change our amount of commands, though, does it? Because we've just swapped a copy for an add. But I suppose we can always get the second number back by just adding without a copy. We never need to do the copy. Like if I play this, it should also work. Oh, but we have saved some because we're not doing that second copy now. So overall, if this works, we will have saved it. Okay, so I mean, that should end up being more efficient, but we still are going to have 12 commands. And it's less, it's less steps. Like, we're getting somewhere, potentially. Okay. So we inbox it, we copy. We inbox again. We subtract. If it's 0 or negative, oh, you know what? I don't need this if negative. We can do the same logic coming at it. So if it's 0, we want to copy 1 back. If it's negative or hold on, I had something there. Let me undo. So there's a couple scenarios. So if it is 0, if it's 0, we can just add back whatever we had. So if negative, let's go do this logic. Any other scenario, let's just add it back, because we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that jump there. So there I've saved a command at the very least. So inbox copy, inbox, we subtract it. If it's negative, the result is negative, we need to copy from 0, because the one we copied was the bigger one. any other scenario, so this jump will hit if it's 0 or positive, we just add back 0, which if the result is 0, we're just adding back. We're essentially just copying from 0, but we're just adding. But if the second one, if our result is positive, meaning the second one is the larger one, we're doing the exact same logic. And then we're going to outbox. Okay. This is more efficient. So let's see where we get here. Right, so then that just adds. So there's no need to copy. Okay. So we've saved one additional command here. We're almost down to 10. Stepwise, we're very close. I mean, we're so close to this. Okay. All right. So, what am I missing? Okay. Inboxing, copying. We have to copy it at least once. Then we grab the next one from the inbox. Now we have both of them. We can do a comparison. We subtract. If it's negative, then the first number we had, is the one that we need. So we just copy. Because, at that point adding back is just going to get us the second number we grabbed, and at that point we've determined that the first one we grabbed is the greater number. So we need to copy from that one. So that has to happen. Otherwise we hit this jump here. We go to and we add back. So whether it's 0 or positive, we just add it back to get the original number we had, because that's what we want to outbox. So after we copy this, we're then jumping to the outbox, and we're using the same outbox here, and then we jump back to the inbox. Okay. So is there a way? Do I maybe not need all of these jumps? Maybe. So if I didn't have this jump here, copy from would then attempt to do this add, which is not what we want. We want it to outbox. So we need it to jump to that outbox. So, what are we missing here? Oh, you know what I just realized with this game in particular? I have my game capture set to not capture my cursor. Not that it's critical that you guys see my cursor, but I've sort of been highlighting over things and clicking things to indicate, and you're not seeing my cursor. So let me fix that here. Let's capture the cursor. Okay. All right, now you guys can see my cursor. I'm assuming yep, there we go. Okay. I had to see it happen on the stream that's open in my other on my other computer. Okay. Anyway, maybe a tiny value add to this stream. You can now see what I'm actually indicating when I spin around. Anywho, any thoughts? I'll ask chat. Any thoughts on efficiency add here? I feel like I have a lot of jumps, but I also feel like they're Oh, wait a minute. No, I think I actually see. Okay. So, jump if negative, I would now be in the logic of 0 or positive. So I don't need to jump to another thing in logic. I can just do it here and then jump to the outbox. Then I've removed a jump, and I'm not doing so many dang jumps. I think that'll work. Oh, what'd I do? Okay. Hold on. I wasn't even paying attention, to be honest. Alright. Jump if negative to do that business. Okay. Let me just play that again because I just need to see what I messed up. I was looking at chat. Okay. My second number is bigger here. Yeah, okay. Got rid of this because it's not necessary. Oh, I pulled the wrong logic. That's that's what I did. That was silly. Okay, yeah, because I want the add 0 because that's the logic I'm jumping to here that I can now get rid of. I can add 0 and then jump from here. Okay. Negative. If negative, we're going to do that copy. Otherwise, we're going to add 0 back to what we did. Then we're going to jump down to outbox it. Jump if negative. We're going to copy from outbox and jump back. Okay. I think this is now correct. Okay. Alright, now we have a situation where they're both the same. Now we have a situation where the second number is bigger, so it's going to do the same thing. It's going to do the subtraction. It's going to add it back. It's going to throw out the 3. Okay. Did we do it here? This is definitely a hell of a lot cleaner looking. We've done it in 10 commands. And we've done it in 34 steps. Excellent. Okay. I'm happy with that. Alright. Alright, so we've reached an employee morale insertion. So we're gonna get another fun cutscene here.
And that, ladies, is how I saved a bundle on my long-distance telephone service. Back to work, everyone.
A massive army of machines has surrounded the city. The machines are not moving, and they are not communicating. Local authorities are investigating.
Alright. We're becoming a bit more dystopian. Alright, let us go... achievement unlocked, career milestone 2. Oh, that's not showing up on capture. That's fine. It doesn't need to. Okay. Let's go to the exclusive lounge. A lot of why I thought you would like this game, Pseudo, is these are the types of things you would say all the time, as a joke, to be clear to anyone else watching, but this seems very much like your type of humor. For each two things in the inbox, send a 0 to the outbox if they have the same sign. Both positive or both negative. Send a 1 to the outbox if their signs are different. Repeat until the inbox is empty. Okay. Okay. So 0 and 1 are already copied onto the floor for us here. So we're going to inbox. We're going to copy it to 0. We are going to then inbox again, and I think from there we can, whoops, from there we can sub 0. And then if the result is okay, if they have the same sign. Oh. Do we even want to copy this? I don't know that we even need to copy. So if... Okay, this is, I think, like right out of the gate, not going to be the most efficient thing. But I'm going to just kind of start with it and see where we get. Okay. If negative... we're going to want to check. We're like, okay, it's negative. Now we've jumped to this logic. Inbox. If it's negative again, we would end up copying from 0, copying from 4, and sending that to the outbox. This would be, this is a logic tree for only if they are both negative. This checks if they're both negative, copies from 0, sends that to the outbox. Now, if we ended up in a scenario where first one's negative, second one is not, then we're going to have different logic where we are going to copy from 5, outbox that. Alright, Cito, glad you enjoyed. I'm planning on continuing puzzle streams on Sundays, I think, for a bit. So yeah, no, glad you enjoyed it. Later. See you later for some Hunter x Hunter. Okay. So now, where was I? Okay. So in this scenario, one's negative, the second one is not, so they have a different sign, so we want to copy from 5, send a 1 to the outbox. And then at the end, we always want to jump back, and then in this case, we want to also, well, let me learn the lesson I didn't learn before, where we jump from here to a single outbox command, and then we don't have to have extra outboxes and jumps. Okay. So this handles the scenario where they're both negative. If they are not negative, so if they are essentially 0 or positive, which are going to have the same sign anyway, then we would jump to essentially a different tree of logic. Whereby we've completely kind of skipped that. And then if we build in, so then we want to check and when we want to grab the second one, this is going to change to jumping here because we're in a separate tree of logic. And then this one is also going to have to jump. This is already looking pretty not good, but let's see. Now, if negative, we've ended up with the wrong sign. Well, we've ended up with the opposite sign. So their signs are not the same. We're going to want to... oh, actually, we can jump back to some logic here where we copy from 5 and then jump. Otherwise, if it's not negative, then we're going to this bit of logic. Because we've got the same sign. This is a mess. I'm gonna press play here to see if this even works. Okay, both negative. Both positive. First one's negative, second one's positive. First one's positive, second one's negative. Okay, so this worked. Okay, I'm not too far off on number of commands, actually. Hey, Percy. My cat just jumped up, so she's standing in front of the screen. Percy, I need to finish the game. Now you're rubbing on the mic, and I'm worried that the people can hear you. And it's just cat rubbing noises now. Alright, come on. Hey, let's get away from the mic. Let's also not step on the keyboard. There we go. Okay. Cat crisis averted. Alright, so let's go back. So essentially we need to abstract out 2 jumps. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a new tab. I'm actually going to use some comments here. So, so this is going to be, let's just try to write same. So this is going to be where the logic goes for the same sign. And this is going to be where logic goes for a different sign, which I'm just going to put as diff. Okay. So, if it's the same sign, we are copying from 4. If it is a different sign, we are copying from 5. We are then outboxing. And okay, so now both of these trees of logic are outboxing. They're copying from the correct place or outboxing. Okay, so these are blocks that we're going to reuse later. And they're all going to end up in essentially the same place. So, at the start, we're inboxing. If it's negative, and then negative again, let's say, those are the same. And we go through that bit of logic. If it is negative, and then something else, we're jumping to this bit of logic. Okay. Other scenario. If it's not negative, we are positive or otherwise. Actually, we don't even need to jump. We need to then check. Whoops. So I missed an extra inbox here because we need to grab the next thing and then check. If it's not negative, we need to inbox another one. If it then is negative, then we're jumping to the diff. Otherwise, we're jumping to same. So jumping to diff, you get the copy from, you get the outbox. Jumping to same, you copy from, you jump to outbox. Okay. Inbox. If negative, we're then going to inbox again, check for negative again, jump to same. If we don't have negative, we're jumping to different. Okay? Switch these. Okay. Next scenario. It's not negative, so we inbox again. If it then is negative, we're jumping to diff. Otherwise, we're jumping to same. Okay. Compare this to my previous tab. It definitely looks like we've shaved off a command or two. Oh wait, hold on. I can just look at the line numbers. 14 lines, 12 lines. Okay, so this is definitely better, number of commands wise. So let's play this and see where we end up. Not enough stuff in the outbox. Oh, I didn't do my. Yep. I know. I didn't do my final jump. So this is where we get 13 lines, but we are one less line. So, and we were only one command away from most efficient, if I recall correctly. So this should be all right. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Different signs. And this test string we've got here is all different signs. I feel like I'm going to want to run a few others to double check. Okay. Wait, 13. Oh, is that what I had before? Like, but that's definitely less steps, but if I borked something. Okay. Okay, let's try this out again. If negative. We could reuse some stuff here, can't we? If negative, jump. Yeah, because this, if negative, that's going to same. Okay. If negative, if negative. I wonder if I can. Okay, I wonder if I can save some stuff here by making assumptions like. All right, so if we've gone in here, if it's negative, we're going to go to diff. If it's not, we're going to jump to same. Oh wait, no, though. Because then I've created a scenario where we'll never get to the correct spot. Okay. Now my question sort of is, do we want to actually be using copy froms, copy tos, adds, and subs? I don't think it actually does anything for us in this case. So like if we add and get 0, then we know they have different signs. It's the only way you can add and get 0 is if, well, basically this first scenario we have here, 3 plus -3 is going to give you 0. But that's not going to work for, that's only going to work in that specific scenario, because if we were to add, 1 plus -8, and we end up negative, that's not an indication of anything, because this could have been -1 plus -8, and our result is negative, but they have the same sign. So I don't think there's any point. I don't think there's any point in us doing any copying, adding, or subtracting. I don't think it helps us here. Okay. So, pull out of the inbox. If it's negative, we pull the next one out of the inbox. If it's negative again, we're jumping to same. Otherwise, we're jumping to different. Fair enough. So that was jumping here. So now, if it's not negative, so we're starting with a positive or 0, doesn't matter which, we're then grabbing the next one. If it's then negative, we're jumping to different. Otherwise, we're jumping to same, because we've gotten the same sign. In our same logics, we have copy from, we jump down to the outbox step, and the jump back. If we don't need to jump, it's already here. So I don't think there's efficiency to be gained here. The question is, are there bits of logic we can reuse, like starting with positive or starting with negative? If it's negative, and if it's negative again, it's the same. Otherwise, it's different. Positive, grab the next one, and then we need to check again for it's positive or it's negative. Having some trouble with this one. I want a better data set to practice with. Can I tell it? Alright. You have some information for me. Basic Boolean logic, yes. It's called XOR. Familiar with XOR, but maybe that will actually help me to think about this better. 0 to the outbox if they have the same sign, 1 to the outbox if their signs are different, repeat until the inbox is empty. Okay, so I'm one command over efficiency, so I feel like there is it's just like one extra thing I'm doing. So can I, between these two different logic trees of is negative, and then is negative again, and is positive, and is positive again, can I save some time? Can I reuse a bit of logic? I don't think I can, because whether you start with a positive or a negative, starting with a positive and starting with a negative then go into opposite rules, because then if negative and if otherwise, you want to do opposite things for both of those potential logic trees. Okay, so jump if negative, jump if negative. So I was 31 steps on average, so 3 over, 1 command over. It might not even be in this tree of logic, it might be something silly I'm doing down here. So the same we want to copy from 4, if it's different we want to copy from 5. Those things are always true. We're only using one outbox statement because here we're jumping the diff down to the outbox and jump. Here, if we end up with diff, we're hitting outbox and jump just naturally. We want to go back and inbox again. Yeah, forgot an example doesn't actually help me. Adjusting my chair a bit. Okay, so let me just go through this again. So we pull a 3 out of there. It's not negative, so we end up on line 3. So we're going to inbox again. We have negative 3. So we're going to jump to the diff. Because, yes, of course. And outbox. Next scenario is the same but opposite. So, oh wait, no. Next scenario is identical. Alright, so then 5 and minus 6. Is this really... Okay, we're just getting the same string. Can you give me a different in pile? How do I get that? So if I play and stop and reset, I think I get a different one. Okay. Alright, so new scenario. We start with negative. Jump down to here. We grab the next one. If it's negative, it's same. Otherwise, it's, Oh, you know what? Do I need to... No, I do. Shoot. So I was gonna say, like, if it's negative and it's on the next thing, can I just end up there? But no, I can't, because I need to... Because this jump will catch everything. This isn't jump if not negative, it's just jump. So I need my if negatives to come before these. Otherwise, it's just gonna catch everything. So... There really want to work out at least one bit of efficiency before I end the stream. It's 6 now, but I kind of want to do this. Okay. So let's see. Inbox, jump of negative. Inbox, jump of negative. There's gotta be something extra I'm doing here. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright. I think I've been sort of like dancing around it a bit, but I think like I'm jumping to bits of logic, but I need maybe just a bit of logic in the middle that is always there. So like, can I... Like, for example, when am I jumping to same? Like, I'm jumping to same here. What if instead of jumping to same, I just do same? Which is going to involve... So I just need to end up... Where did that jump come from? Okay, yeah. Okay. Does this, because this might actually help me. And then jump to outbox, and then I'm jumping back up. So this took away one line, but I don't think I've, I think there's something I still need. Okay. Okay, so let's go through this again. So if negative, jump down here, inbox. If negative, jumping to the diff. Otherwise, we need... Okay. Yeah. Okay. I need to do some jumping back here, basically. So... If negative, inbox. If negative again, then we're doing... Then it's the same. So we come back to this bit of logic. Okay. Otherwise, we don't need this, because then we're going into it is different. Drag this up. Let's keep the diff with what it is. Okay. Inbox. Let's say it's negative. Jump down here. Inbox. If it's negative again, same. So we jump here. This jumps down to our outbox, and we jump back to the beginning. Okay. So that's one scenario that works. Next scenario, if negative, and here inbox again. Now if not negative, we're going to bypass this, and we're going to go into the diff. Okay? That's correct. Okay. Okay, so inbox, if positive, we're going to inbox again. If then negative, diff, etc. If positive, we have the same logic in here. Oops. So we're going to do that copy, we're going to jump down. Okay, final scenario. Oh wait, no, I just did both of those. Is this correct now? Let me see. There are no same side examples in this. I think I'll at least be told if this works, but it doesn't work for other strings. Okay, so now we've done it in one less than the size challenge. 29 steps, though. Okay. So this is... it's better. Just a bit. Okay. So we get a different string now. I want to... if I stop and reset in the middle, we can get a different string. Okay. So we have a same here. I just want to have a same. We have a couple sames. Okay. Interesting. We'll stare at this for another minute or two just to see if I can figure out the steps thing. But essentially what I wanted was to get at least one of the goals taken care of, and I did. But I just feel the need to look a tiny bit more. Okay. Inbox, jump if negative, inbox, jump if negative. It takes us to diff logic, where we copy from 5, outbox it, jump back up. If not negative, not negative, we end up here. Jump if negative, again, down to the same diff logic, yeah. If negative, jump down here, if negative, back up to same. If not negative, and then if negative following that, diff, otherwise we end up with the same logic. Jump down here for the outbox. Jump, 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 jump. What if we instead just outbox and jump? Does it technically save us a step? Like, it saves us one jump, right? And it does. Okay, I'm curious to see if that actually saves a step. I might be missing something. Because if we jump, outbox, jump, rather than here we just have to outbox, jump, so I think we've saved one step. But I've added one command back, so we should end up with 12 and 28. We should end up with the exact specifications for efficiency. Commands, 28 steps. Excellent. Okay. All right. That was a bit of a brain breaker. Okay. Cool. I'm happy with this as a spot where we ended. So I am going to end the stream here.